Remington, Model 11. Oh man, this gun right here gives me all kinds of satisfaction to have. I actually, whenever I bought this gun, it's funny. There's a little backstory on this gun. I'm gonna get through as quick as I can. I bought another one, which was a Savage model, 40 something, maybe 50 something. It's basically the same gun as this, except it's aluminum. It's made by Savage. The quality isn't as good. I definitely recommend this one over it. But I bought it, and then I bought this one in the same day, and it's right around my birthday. And I told my ex-girlfriend about the other one, but I didn't tell her about this one because my mom, I had her go get a money order for the other gun, and it was my birthday a couple days from then, and she's like, you know what? She goes, just keep the money. She goes, and I'll pay for the other one. I said, okay. So I got back on there, and I was looking, and I came across this gun, this Remington Model 11, and I'm like, well, shoot, man. And since she gave me the money back, I was like, I'm gonna buy this one. It was a really good price, so I went ahead and bought it. And I didn't tell my ex about it, and she asked whenever I was going to pick up the other gun, and I said, well, I ordered another one because my mom gave me the money for the first one, and she left me over it. Good riddance. So this gun has got a rich history with me. And then whenever I got it, here's the bad thing. Whenever I got it, the freaking thing was broke. If you can see in there, right there, the whole part of the barrel sleeve is broken off. And I guess it was an estate gun, came from an estate. And the guy, I guess he didn't know. But whenever I got the gun, I'm like, oh no, man. I'm like, the barrel's broke. Because he had the gun taken apart whenever he shipped it. So I wrote the guy up, and I'm like, you know, there's a plug there was a plug that blocked off the magazine. So whoever had this gun, what they were doing with it was it was a single shot, basically. They used it as a single shot. That's why they blocked off the magazine. So the gun still fired like that. But the person that sold it didn't tell me about it. So I was a little peeved about that. And I think this gun's been refinished. As you can see, it's got a really nice finish on it. It's had to have been refinished. Now, I only paid $200 for it. So I wasn't too upset. And then the guy gave me back half the money when I wrote him back on Gunbroker. And I said, hey, man, you know, you need to check these guns over a little bit better and put it in the description that a piece of the barrel is broken off. So he gave me half my money back. He offered to give me all my money back, or he says, I'll give you half and you can keep the gun. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll take half back. So I got this gun for $100 freaking. And then what I did was I sawed the barrel down. I was like, you know what? The barrel's junk anyway. I'm just gonna take the barrel and cut it down to a legal length. This is actually 19 inches. So I just hacked the end of the barrel off, and I just popped that little clip on there. Now this gun won't shoot, and there's another issue with it too. But this gun won't eject the shells right. You got to basically dump them out if you was to shoot it. So I bought another barrel for it. I got it upstairs. I didn't cut that one down. So this is kind of a looker as it is. Now as I might get the other barrel and chop it down, but the other barrel, the bluing doesn't match this gun. This bluing on this barrel is actually really nice. So I might have the other barrel re-blued and then take it down to about 19. Or what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a magazine extension for it. Put a magazine extension on it. And that thing will be just a really cool looking gun. The recoil pad doesn't fit right. If you can see right here, this doesn't fit properly on it. You can see how that edge is up there. Everything on this gun has got to be fitted. It's kind of like Browning's 1911s. You know, just everything was kind of designed to be hand fitted. But this gun, the action was messed up, and I took it apart, and I actually swapped some parts from that Savage over to this one, mainly the shell lifter right here. And it seems like it took care of the problem as far as dry cycling it. And the way these guns work is when they recoil, the barrel actually goes down. If you can see that, the barrel actually goes down in there. And everything needs to be oiled up on this gun. You know, this gun is like a 1920, 1921. This is an old gun. It's a very old gun. But it's in good shape. But I don't know, it's had to have been reblued at some point in time. Most definitely. There's really no pitting on it or anything. Got a little bit of wear up there. But it's a cool looking gun, man. Is it not? Is that not just a beauty? Yeah. Bonnie and Clyde, eat your heart out. But the Model 11 is a Browning Auto 5 copy, and it's pretty much as close as you can get. On the Auto 5s, they got a shell magazine disconnect where you can only, if you flip that, you only shoot the one in the chamber, and it doesn't pull the one from the magazine out. These do not have that. That feature I really don't need. Just like on my Benelli and Beretta models that I have, the Benelli M1 and the Beretta 1200. I shooting only the one from the chamber, only ejecting the one from the chamber is kind of a moot point to me. I mean, if you need it, great, it's there. I really don't, so, the Model 11 is fine. And as you can see, there's no engraving on it. It's just a plain Jane receiver, but it's just cool looking, man. Is that not beautiful? Look at that fore end. It's got a little crack there. A little bitty crack right here at the base. Just a little bit. Most of the time when you get these, they're cracked. They are cracked, unfortunately. It doesn't have a front bead on there. I just popped that on there for looks. I could always put a bead on there. Of course, not on this barrel. Like I said, this gun's more for looks than anything. I think it's gonna need a little bit more work to get it up to operating. Maybe. Definitely the barrel would have to be replaced with the other barrel. I mean, I may pop shells in there and it may fire right away. I haven't fired it, so I don't know. Doesn't really matter. It's just a cool looking gun. It's a very cool looking gun. And they have rebuild kits for these, and it's probably needs a rebuild kit in there. It's pretty simple to take apart. You can tell it's a Browning design whenever you take it apart. You can just feel it. That it's John Browning all over it. One thing about this gun, and some guys ain't gonna like this, is you have to hit the button right there in order to load it. Some people ain't gonna like that. The gun's 100 years old. It's not a new tactical gun. I didn't say tactical. I said tactical. But it is cool. It's very cool. It's awesome looking. Wouldn't you say? I wish I could hang it up on the wall. It's kind of a wall hanger. Safety's inside the trigger. It's got a weird safety on it. See, I might have to. Yeah, safety's inside the trigger. There we go. That's kind of weird right there where the safety's at. So take that for what it's worth. Trigger pull is actually pretty good on it. It's actually surprisingly good. These are just high quality guns. I mean, they're unparalleled in today's guns. Generally speaking, today's guns just can't match the quality of these old guns. So if you're looking for one of these, and you may think these are ugly. I think the guy from Remington told John Browning that this has got to be the ugliest gun I ever seen. They call it the humpback. At first glance, it could look to be ugly to you because it does look weird. But once you feel them and stuff, and you just feel the weight, and they're cool guns, man. Man, are they cool guns? It's just a classic, man. It's just a freaking classic. This is a real classic here, a super classic. It's the first reliable semi-auto shotgun, and they're still being used today. Whenever I say this, I'm talking the Browning Auto 5, Remington 11. The Remington 11 is just the plain Jane version of the Auto 5. And you can generally get these cheaper than the Auto 5. The Auto 5 is a little snappier, a little spazzier. a little spiffier, I guess I should say. Good bluing on it, man. Like I said, whoever reblued this gun did a really good job on it, in my opinion. I mean, it looks like a factory job to me. Some guys probably be able to look at it and say, "Oh, that's not factory." Well, I understand that. I'm just saying that just whoever did it did a good job on it. They did a quality job. Very very nice. And then the Remington 870 and stuff, the magazine extensions fit on these, but there's a little gap in between here when you slip the magazine extension on. You need to make a little spacer for that. And then, of course, you don't want to put a barrel band on it because this barrel goes back into the gun. So you do not want to put a barrel band on a Remington Model 11 or Browning Auto 5. Definitely not. See, it's got these screws all over. And these little set screws, these little secondary screws, are to keep the main screw from moving. So if you see those, that's what that's for. Very cool gun, man. Like I said, I have not shot this one, but I have shot Auto 5s, and they are they kick. They kick. They don't play around. You better be ready to man up. And this fires only 2 3/4 inch shells, which is completely fine. Doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me at all. 2 3/4. I've already been over that. Plenty of power. But kind of my reason for getting this and doing this was the whippet gun that Clyde barrel used. And what he would do is he actually saw down the stock, because there's a bar that comes, that's the recoil spring down in the stock, so you can only saw it so far. And that's what he would do. And then he would whack the barrel down, and then he'd be able to whip it out. That's why he called it the whippet gun. This is kind of my my take on it. And he used the Browning Auto 5s. He also used the Remington Model 11s. You know, who knows, man? I mean, you know, obviously the stock isn't the original stock. You know, you never know. Clyde barrel might have had this gun at one point in time. You just never know. Highly unlikely, but you just never know. It's fun to think about. You know, Remington Model 11 doesn't have the original stock, but you know, the barrel, I don't know if it's original. Who knows? Who knows what's original and what isn't? It's just kind of a piece of history. But yeah, that's kind of fun to think about. You know, if maybe he had this gun and maybe that's why the stock was replaced. Somebody found it and they're like, "Well, you know, who sawed off the stock on this thing?" In the barrel, so they replaced the barrel in the stock, not knowing that, you know, it was a piece of history. Could be. Highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. And the only, like I said, the only reason why this barrel is like this is because I did it. Because the barrel is junk. Pretty much. So I was like, you know, I'm just going to take it down and make it look cool. So that's what I did. And for your viewing pleasure, and probably maybe not the pleasure of your ears hearing me yak on about it, cool gun. Cool gun. Thanks for watching.